All right, everybody, I'm back. Next edition of a car that we're going to create. This time it's going to be a rubber band powered car. Okay, still, again, just using things that you have at home. The materials we're going to use today is this is actually a paper towel tube that I cut, but you can use a tissue tube. I have 4 paper clips. I have already pre-cut out 4 circular wheels with the middle point marked out. If you don't remember how to do that, look in the first video that I created to how to make nice round wheels. The wheels are the most important part of the car. If you don't have good smooth wheels, your car is not going to move very well. So always find a circular item, trace it really nicely, use some nice sharp scissors, and cut smoothly along that. Use a ruler to find the center of the circle. Okay, I already did it, so that's one last step I got to do on the video. You also need 2 pencils. You're going to need a rubber band. Actually, I have a bigger one. I have a few to choose from, so I'll see which one works the best. But I've got some rubber bands. You just need one. Marker to mark things off with, and you also need some glue. In this case, I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue just to be quicker in the video, but you can use regular glue too, again, for the axle when you create the wheels. Okay, so first and foremost, your paper clips. We're going to build the body of the car first. The body is here, and we're going to have the pencils, which are going to be the axles of the wheel. They need to be held to the car but still be able to rotate, and that's what the paper clips come in for. If you notice, there's 2 ends of the paper clip. There's a smaller end and the bigger end. On the smaller end, the pencil has a hard time moving, rotating. But if I put it on the bigger end, it rotates nice and smoothly. Okay, and that's the end we want to use. So the bigger end, we're going to attach to the end of the tube like that. Okay, just right at that, so there's enough space for the pencil to fit. I'm going to grab a piece of tape that I already cut beforehand, and I'm going to press nice and firmly to make sure it stays. I'm using duct tape. It's this black tape right now. It's just black duct tape that I'm using. You don't need this. You can use Scotch tape. You just might need to use a little bit more of it. That's all. Now the other one has to go exactly opposite of the first one that you did. So if you look at it from the other side, I'm going to line this up so it's right there. So if you see, it's nice and lined up. So I'm going to put that one there, hold it, and again, grab your piece of tape, tape it down, and there we go. All right, so now you should have one on each side, and we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. Now the only thing you have to be careful is we want to make sure, see, this is going to be the first axle. We want to make sure that the other axle is also parallel to this one, right? So we don't want an axle that goes this way because that car won't move, right? So when we put the next paper clip, we need to make sure that this paper clip is lined up with that one on the same line, kind of like that, if you can kind of see that. Okay, so I'm gonna again tape that one down, and the other one. So if you notice, straight line there, I got to do the same thing on this side right here, so it's a straight line with this one. Okay, so we'll tape that down. Now, I'm doing this one way. There are hundreds and thousands of different ways to build any of these things. And so I encourage you, just because I'm doing it this way doesn't mean you have to do it exactly the same way. I'd actually encourage you to try to problem solve and see if you can come up with a different way of doing it. Maybe a cooler way, a more efficient way, a better way. Maybe the wheels will roll better that way, right? There's lots of different ways you can do this. So I'm just showing you one way. But feel free to try other things as well. Okay, now you should have both axles. If I put the pencils in at the ends, remember they should run freely. If they don't, it's probably because you use the wrong side of the paper clip. Okay, once you have that, then we're going to start putting our wheels in. So I already have the holes marked there, the centerpiece. So I'm going to pierce it, put my pencil through all the way. There's the first wheel, all the way there. Okay. I'm going to leave a little bit extra. This is where you glue. I'm going to use hot glue, but again, you can just use regular Elmer's glue. White glue will work fine. Okay. Let it dry for a few seconds. I'll put a little bit on the inside as well. While that one's drying, do the other one. So I can start off on this one as well. Right in the center, pierce it. If you have a nice sharp pencil, this works best. That way it goes through really easily. Okay, here we go. Put some right there on the inside as well. Again, you may have to wait a little bit longer if you don't have hot glue at home, but it'll work the same with regular glue. Okay, and now I still have the other two wheels, and I still have this rubber band I got to figure out. While that's drying, let's figure out this rubber band situation. What's going to happen is we're going to this. I'm going to use another pencil just to show you. You're going to take your rubber band and you're going to put wrap it around the pencil, and then put one end in through the rubber band. So if I pull it, it's like it makes a little knot. Okay, there we go. Okay, now here's what happens. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. We learned that in Newton's third law. If I begin to twist this rubber band, this pencil, it's going to bring the rubber band with it. And as it's doing that, it's creating more and more pressure on the rubber band because it's stretching the rubber band. And the rubber band naturally doesn't want to be stretched. It naturally wants to go back to its normal state. So when I release the pencil, it's going to twist all the way back, and that's what's going to power the car to move forward. That's what's going to turn the wheels. Okay, all right, so this is basically the knot that we have to do in here. By now this should be pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and do this knot again. I'm going to show you one more time here. Take it around right there, and then I'm going to put this right through the middle right there and pull. Okay, so I have something that looks kind of like that. You pull nice and tight. Okay, that's what it should look like. Okay, now I actually did this one step too early. What you want to do is actually do this once one part of your pencil's in. So here's going to be the back axle. Do the same thing. It's good to show anyway. Again, right here, pull it. Okay, right there. All right, and I need to also make sure I put this pencil on the other side. It needs to go through both paper clips, so this is the tricky part. I have to make sure I can fit it through there, and then just kind of roll the rubber band back over to the center. Okay, so there it is. I think I'm happy with that for now. I can now go ahead and put the other wheel. Again, I have, this is the back, this is where the power is going to come from. I'm going to go ahead and pierce the other wheel through that middle hole that we created. Okay, nice and slow, right there. I'm going to bring it in about there. Okay, so here it is. Okay, and probably don't even need glue, but again, I want it to last, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on both sides, on the inside and the outside of the axles. A little bit there, a little bit on this side as well. Okay, and that's good. All right, now here's the trickiest part about this. It's going to be to bring this rubber band, and we got to bring it all the way through the tube and somehow attach it to this side. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a little cut on the front side. So this wheel is drying back there, right? We're over here, okay? And instead of on this side, I'm going to flip it over, and right here, right on the bottom, you see where the wheels are? Right on the bottom, I'm going to make 2 little cuts with my scissors. One right there, and one right there. Now I can bend this out so you can kind of see it. I made a little cut. Okay, this is what we're going to wrap the rubber band around. So we need to get this rubber band all the way to the other side and wrap it around this tab. That's what's going to hold the rubber band in place. So let's see if I can get this rubber band to reach all the way to the other side. There it is, poking through. Okay, I got the rubber band on the other side. I'm going to put it right over that cut that I made, right there. So if you look through the inside, you can kind of see the rubber band all the way going back to the axle, and it's wrapped around here. Now I don't want this to fall off, so I'm going to put a piece of tape there just to make sure it stays, it doesn't get torn off. So I'm going to go right here, add a little bit of tape there, wrap it inside there, and that should be enough to hold it in place. Now watch, if I just twist the back wheels and let go, let's twist it a little bit here. Whoops. Twist, twist, twist. You see how the rubber band is getting more and more twisted? Now if I let go, it turns the wheels. And that's what's going to provide the power for it. Okay? All right, so last step is getting this last wheel on here. All we got to do is stick it on there. Find the other wheel, find the midpoint, pierce through it. There we go. All the way through. Add a little bit of glue there on both sides. And a little bit over here. Let it dry for a second so we don't get glue all over the place. Make some space in your area. All right, just so you can see, here's the car. All right, it's got the 2 axles, it's got all 4 wheels. The axles are attached to the car via the paper clips, which are taped onto the body of the car. You got the rubber band right here. As I roll the car back, it winds the rubber band. So let's try it right now. And right now, if you see on the back, as I pulled it back, it wound it. You can even use your fingers if you want to wound a lot. But when you let go, whoops. Here's a problem. So there is a lot of power right now coming from this wheel. And it spins, but it spins in place. It's too much power. So what are some options of what we could do in order to fix this car so that it doesn't spin in place? It actually, when it spins, it moves the car.